Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket. Go watch a movie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 185. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Today we are tackling an IFC film, Werewolves Within. But before we get into that, let's pop into a little bit of entertainment news. First and foremost, James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano himself, RIP. Apparently, the story came out that when Steve Carell was leaving the office, they wanted to get James Gandolfini to play Michael Scott's replacement. I don't know if you've watched either one of those shows, but James did later do comedy, so okay, he had a comedic bone. In fact, I think he said he felt more comfortable doing comedy before he passed. But I don't know if I can him on there. I don't know. They did get not David Spade. God damn it, my goddamn mind. Will Ferrell came in, and a couple other people came in to replace. They never really found a replacement for him, but it would have been odd to see him on there, especially after he did Tony Soprano for however many years that show lasted. Yes. But the biggest part of this story is HBO paid him $3 million not to take the role.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
Because they felt it would have diminished what Tony was.
Wow.
I've never heard of this.
I guess that's a new thing now. You can do something really well. The threat of you doing something else, somebody will pay you money not to do it.
Yeah. That's insane. That blows my mind. But yeah, I should not do that. James Gandolfini, he passed away in 2013 at 51. So, but his legacy was that deep as Tony, yeah. And his son is actually going to play young Tony Soprano in the Many Saints of New York, the HBO prequel movie. But yeah, that just blew my mind. Moving on.
Wish somebody would pay me $3 million not to do something.
Right? It's like, wait, you're going to pay me $3 million so I don't have to do anything?
Okay. Thank you.
Done. I will not do that or anything else for the next while because of this money. So this one makes me happy with Glee, not Gee. What is Gee? That makes me happy with Glee. So Clerks has been owned by Miramax for a very long time, but because Miramax is falling apart for obvious reasons that I don't think we need to get into, I'm going to get into it. Harvey Weinstein is a rapist. So Max fell apart.
Put it out there.
He's going through trials for it right now and all that stuff. But yeah, he owned it. Him and his brother owned it. And of course, with him going to jail here soon, I should say allegedly, all of this, I guess, because he hasn't been found guilty yet. But Miramax went up for sale. And good old Lionsgate has bought them. And one of the first things they did was say, you know what, Kevin? We're going to let you make Clerks 3. So Kevin starts production on Clerks 3 in New Jersey this summer. I'm excited because you all know how big of a fan of Clerks of Kevin I am. So he quoted, of course, he doesn't He spoils everything. It'll be a movie that concludes a saga, Smith said at the time. A movie about how you're never too old to completely change your life. A movie about how a decade-spanning friendship finally confronts the future. Yeah, and they're gonna shoot in New Jersey where he shot the original one. You gave away the plot of it, which I won't spoil like he did, but yeah, I'm excited if we get the closure because he has been fighting a battle with Miramax to make this for the longest time, and they just didn't want to pay all the stars the money.
Mm-hmm.
So this, best thing, you win-win with this. One guy's going to jail, and we get Clerks 3.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's entertainment news today. That'll bring us to trailers. You first to me, sir.
Go ahead.
Here today. This is the trailer I'm doing. It's a Billy Crystal film.
It's like what?
That Paul's confused.
Yes, didn't it? I'm old. Don't do that.
Fried chicken. Lung pot. What? Now, here today, Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is has blown up in the last 3 or 4 years. Comedian, very funny woman. And Billy Crystal, everyone knows. He's getting Curly's gold in City Slickers. But he is, they are starred together. He plays a writer with writer's block, very successful writer with writer's block in his late years. She plays a lady whose ex-boyfriend was a big fan of this guy, and they went to a celebrity auction and bid on him, but they broke up. So she got the winning ticket, and she won it for $22, as they revealed in the trailer. And she tells him that she's like, Oh, it's wonderful that you won me. How much did you win me for? $2,200? That's amazing. No, $22. But yeah, and then as the trailer moves on, we later find out after they go through a bunch of shenanigans on this celebrity date thing, we find out that he has dementia. And it's cool the way they reveal it. She's at his house because they connect because she gets shellfish poison and her face blows up, and he has to take her to the hospital, and she writes him down as her father. So he feels touched, and he decides to spend more time with her. And she sees this board with his family's names on, his family's pictures on it, when their names are underneath. And she's like, "Who's that?" "That's my family." And she's like, "Well, why do they have their names on it?" And then that's when they cut to the doctor telling them, you have this degenerative brain disease. And it's funny, heartwarming, not my usual, but I enjoy both of these people. So yeah, just wanted to pop that up. Billy Crystal, I could watch all the time. The dude's hilarious, and I'm glad he's still doing kids movies as well, so that youth can learn who he is, because I've always been a fan of Billy Crystal. But,
right on.
Yeah.
All right, mine. I love me some M. Night, and if I've already talked about this one with you, excuse me, I'm sorry, but the movie is old. So, the trailer is old. I'm sorry, the trailer is old.
Yes,
and so even if I don't have a great time watching an M. Night movie, I always enjoy it anyway. So I don't know why. It's M. Night. He just always, I like to see where his mind goes. And it's weird because I'm talking more about him than the trailer, but just imagine being M. Night. He's always in this world where he's trying to think about something that's going to either scare or shock or confuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
people this time.
He's always in that frame of mind. So it's just an interesting place to think about somebody being.
Can you imagine? Like, him and his wife are about to go to bed for the night. It's like, all right, I'll see you in there. She comes in the room. Where the hell are you? I was under the bed. Are you shocked?
He's probably done that more than once. So the trailer is these people go to a beach. It's a family, multiple ages, and then they find out somehow other people are invited are on this beach, and they thought it was secluded, but it's really not. And then the craziness ensues. Like when the kids, go around the corner and play hide and seek, but when they come back around the corner, they're all of a sudden like teenagers or grown. And it's like, what's going on? And they find out there's all these artifacts from like past visitors to the beach, but it also might be their stuff. Who knows? And so you're confused. You don't know what's happening, why people are aging the way they're aging. People are all of a sudden pregnant and having babies when they hadn't had sex. All this crazy stuff is happening. So just because I'm confused and I don't know what's going on and it's M. Night, I want to see the movie, and the trailer doesn't, subtract from me wanting to see it. So that's my trailer pick, and it's old.
Makes me feel old and confused.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My explanations often do.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this one because it does look interesting, and I feel the same way about him. Like, I'm always interested in his movies, and I'm not like, there are times where I walk away, I'm like, oh well, okay, but for the most part, I'm not disappointed with the movie overall. It's just he's built these expectations of what a twist,
Exactly. He's got expectations that are so huge that he can't ever really meet him anymore. So even if the movie doesn't meet that, but I still enjoy it just because it's him, and I like seeing where he goes in his head.
Yeah, I think this is another Apple. You can Apple. You can.
I don't know. Hey, I'm
Apple
not getting paid. I'm not getting paid by nobody. If Apple wants to give me some money, though, they can.
Yes, give Robert your money. He deserves it.
Give me all your money, actually. Don't just give me some of it.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think that's another Apple original. It'll be popping up on the Apple, which with Mr. Corman that we talked about last week. So very cool, very cool. But that'll bring us to Werewolves Within. That's more attractive than that. I'm sorry. Watch by if you would not mind.
A snowstorm traps town residents together inside the local inn, where newly arrived Forest Ranger Finn and postal worker Cecily must try to keep the peace and uncover the truth behind a mysterious creature that has begun terrorizing the community.
Thank you, Watchbot. We've been shuffling this movie around, and I feel like a fool for doing it, but Werewolves Within, as Watchbot just said, this ranger. One thing I need to ask: is he a park ranger or a ranger? He's a park ranger, right?
I think he's a park ranger. I'm fairly sure. Yeah.
When do they start carrying guns?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's Sam Richardson. So it's cool.
Yeah, Sam Richardson. I actually had not heard of this guy until we did Tomorrow War. Mm-hmm. And he is a fucking delight, this guy. He reminds me of a guy who does a podcast about movies that is looking for an opportunity to face. Okay, I'll stop. No, but he's fucking fantastic. I really enjoy him. And you don't see the similarity?
I see it. Okay.
I'm just gonna shave on my facial hair off.
You said it, just like it just hit me. I was like, "What?"
I'm gonna shave all my facial hair off. I think this facial hair is what's stopping me from really making it.
Uh-oh.
But no, this movie, it felt like one we watched a little bit ago. But better. What was that werewolf movie we watched that was kind of meh? I feel like this movie did it so much better. And I don't know if it's the addance of comedy, because I don't think that one was very funny. I can't remember the name of werewolf in some city name or whatever. You remember that one?
I do remember.
Descriptors. But yeah, I really had a good time. I laughed out loud quite a bit, and I don't do that often anymore. Now I'm just like, that's funny in my head, So this made me laugh out loud. Yeah, I enjoyed this. What are your initial takes?
I was on board from the beginning. I mean, it just screams me like this is a movie that I want to watch. And again, we've already talked about it. Horror comedy doesn't always work. It depends on what direction you go. This, for me, worked for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just this is just my brand of horror and comedy. I don't know. But, I mean, the last movie we watched with the werewolf, I don't think it knew what it wanted to be. For me, anyway, it just felt like it was off on one level or another, even though it still was a good watch. It wasn't like just overwhelmingly like, oh, man, stop what you're doing and go watch it. So this one here, I feel like it's more of a stop what you're doing and go watch it, because it is that good for me from my point of view and my sense of humor.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it, and it's funny too because it's IFC. It's not one of those big budget, big blockbuster movies, even though I think it should be, because it did fine for the way it was released, but I feel like if it would have gotten in front of more eyes, it could have done so much better.
I don't want it to be in front of more eyes because I want to hold these types of movies to myself and be selfish. I just want to have my. I know I am. I'm the same way with music too. There's like an album that I love. I'm just like nobody else listen to it because I just want it to be mine. I don't want you guys to be on board with my thing. So this is one of those movies. I just want this to be my thing. So everybody else, you don't go watch it. It's mine.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from because you find something good, like, and you want it to stay pure, I guess is the best way to put it. And like if too many people get a hold of it, the critics are gonna tear into it and say this and that about it, and then the people will latch on and have their little stupid opinions. You stupid people with their stupid opinions. But into the movie, like Sam is a park ranger, who he got relocated to another town. Do we ever find out exactly why?
I think he wants to. I think it might be partially because spoilers, a breakup and him wanting to, do something else, find somewhere else. But I think he actually wanted to be there, but this was just an opportunity for him to be there because of his relationship issues. Yes.
Okay. What you just said. Yes. If you do watch this movie, just realize when you're broken up, because to cling like he did, which he portrays perfectly.
I feel like his personality is almost my personality in a weird sort of way. Like I feel like I relate to this dude.
Tell me you've never clung that long.
No, I'm not a clinger, but I can relate to it. I can understand what he's going through mentally, even though physically on the outside, I whatever, I'm going about my own business. But on the inside, I'm like, oh man.
I would love to hear you whine like that. Like, just not. If you got, remember, I've been friends for a very long time, and I have never.
I'm not a whiner. Yes. I don't listen to self-help tapes either. I don't do it.
That would be amazing. Oh man, it's just messed up today. What the fuck? What you doing, Robert? No, but I know what you mean. I tend to run away, so I can see that relates. He is. Yeah, I love his character though. I think it's fantastic, and I think they chose the right person to play him because.
And it's not your like typical leading role.
No,
what I like about it. It's not your typical, front man. It's somebody else who can still be the front man, which gives me.
It almost feels like it could be in the Edgar Wright realm of things.
Yep.
Which is saying something because Edgar's pretty fantastic. But yeah, he does. Who is this? Machina Wolf is the writer. I want to toss her name out there because it is such an amazing thing. And the cast of characters.
Yes.
So, two people in this movie that cracked me up, and I don't. Marcus? Was it Marcus? Was he one of the? That's like the. One of the quote unquote thuggish people.
Okay, sure.
You remember like the mechanic and his girlfriend. I could like
yes, the mechanic and the girlfriend with the wrench was my favorite character.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said when he was still in their shit. He's like, it's my shit now. I'm a werewolf. Oh.
Werewolves Within.
Yes. Oh man. But yeah, it's just there's so many good parts of this movie. Let's talk about Sam's character a little bit more. So besides the point that he's a clingy, whiny person,
oh man.
if Melina were in front of you and you had that day that you had, there is no way in hell that you're answering a phone.
I would have like took my phone out and smashed it on the floor.
Right?
Just like, because that which yes, it makes
that out of my pocket and just beamed it against the wall.
Yes. But I love this is jumping way ahead, but I do love that explanation that she gives later on in the movie for that moment.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And it could have went, it was just he's a sad sack, but
yes.
I did enjoy hers better. I don't know how you do that after that day with that woman. It's just
especially after that dance.
Yes.
Like, how right? Is it weird that she is probably in this movie the most recognizable character, even though she's only done like pretty much commercials?
Yeah, honestly, it is. Because, like I said, I didn't know Sam until Tomorrow War, and I'm very happy I met him in that. I did just watch Die Hard. I see that she's in that. I don't remember her in that.
I don't either. Yeah. Just it's weird. It's like I kept seeing her, like I saw her, but I saw the brand too, and I was like, it was only distracting for a moment though because she takes over.
Yes.
Like, oh, you are a talented person. You're not just somebody who is a spokesperson for another company. That's awesome.
And their conversations, their dialogue, they're fantastic. I love the way this person writes their dialogue because it's witty, it's very clever. Just and funny. Like she's this lady. I'm gonna take notes from her writing because it's the way she had their conversation, their back and forth specifically. It's just fantastic. But I guess we're on her now. I'm gonna
jump around a little bit, but like there was a movie on Netflix called I Care a Lot, which I adore. I think it's a great movie. But the actress on that I just saw recently in a commercial. So I'm thinking, is she dumbing herself down or is she just doing more of what she does best? And then I see her, Melania from a commercial doing a movie now, and I'm like, is she raising herself up or is she just doing more of what she does best? So it's like I don't think there is a line anymore. I really feel like the line is gone. It's just whether you're commercial, whether you're TV, whether you're movie, it's all just you being talented.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Commercials used to be a blemish on an actor's mark, but as Samuel Jackson said, you ain't seen my Capital One check.
Exactly.
So I love, and we get to see these new people, who otherwise we probably wouldn't have saw in the past because they were branded as commercial people,
Exactly.
So that's I think this entire cast there was not one character that I didn't find hilarious or interesting.
Everybody played their role perfectly and they fit into the movie. Whatever the landscape of this movie was supposed to be, they fit into it perfectly. And that's what I appreciate the most about it. It's just a whole nother world of things that you wouldn't expect or people or people types that you wouldn't expect to be in a movie are in the movie together. And it works. It doesn't. There's so many cookie cutter movies out there. I always appreciate these offbeat ones that do something different.
Yeah, and this one certainly did. Harvey Gilliam. Let me talk to him about for a second. You watched the What We Do in the Shadows movie. Have you started the series yet?
I have not.
he plays the familiar in the series, and he's wonderful in it. To see him in something else was fantastic. He's one of the gay couple. It's just they also made me laugh. So many people in this movie made me laugh just out loud because it was those two. I'm trying not to. I mean, I guess we're gonna have to kind of spoil it because but the whole whodunit clue type aspect, I also really enjoyed in this as well.
I wonder if that's one of the reasons why I like this movie. It's because I love me some Clue.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that, even though I haven't thought about Clue until you just said Clue, strangely, as soon as you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that's why I love it subconsciously, because I love me some Clue. I can't get away from it.
Or it could have happened like this. But yeah, the suspense is there. Did you have an inkling of who it was?
Oh, I knew. I'm an armchair detective. I knew when the character explained what happened to somebody else's husband that she ran off with somebody. I knew who it was then, because I felt like that's the least likely person. And then why would that person spread that story? That's the first person, and then I was so rewarded at the end. But this is what the movie does expertly. It almost makes you think it's everybody.
Yes.
It's so obvious though, and that's what makes you think, well, it's obviously not that person because you're being obvious about it being that person. And they go through the line, and they do that with almost everybody to make it seem like it's obviously this person, but when it's not. So it's obviously the person that they didn't do that with, and that was the obvious choice. So that part I did figure out, which made me super happy, because whenever I do that, I feel like I'm an all-star, like I'm the champ. Like, I did it, I figured it out.
The champ is here.
Yep. But at the same time, like they could have surprised me.
Small spoiler, I was sure it was the doctor trying to throw everyone off. Because I was so sure. And then when she died, I was like, oh, well, you are a dumbass, isn't it? But yeah, what you said was perfect. That was such a great job. Mm-hmm. Was that your least?
That was my only clue, was that little fragment of a moment, because it's always the tiniest fragment that leads you to the person who's really up to the no good, right? Like, and all the other stuff, when somebody's explaining about how it was too good to be true and blah, 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 none of that all flew over my head. I didn't see that, so that was a reward. But there was just that tiny little moment, and I was like, oh, maybe it's that. Maybe that's who it is. I got a little pat on the back from the people who made this movie. Like, hey, good job, guy.
You did it.
Good job.
If you're armchair detective, I was an armchair idiot, because I was like, oh no, okay, no.
Well, it wasn't the guy in the woods who was, seclusive, because it's too obvious,
Yeah, I figured it wasn't him. I thought it was either the detective, or not the detective, the doctor, or well, no, not the guy,
because it wasn't the scientist. Yeah, it wasn't the scientist lady, because they were too obvious about it. They were like pointing, like, maybe she's locked behind that door. What else? What else could it be? Oh no, maybe she's just scared. It would be too. It wasn't in a weird town though, because like there was nobody else in that town but those people. Like, everybody, I understand everybody like left because they were like had summer homes or something. I don't know, but like
they sold their homes for the. Yeah,
it's such a small community, and I thought that was kind of just so interesting too. It's like you have this little tiny something that would hunt people would obviously look for this tiny little community that they could just pick people off and then have their way.
Yeah. And I love the let's try to rewatch the part real quick of Marcus. The part that I always get the quote right. Maybe you're the werewolf. Maybe I'm the werewolf. Maybe you're the werewolf part-time. I'm the full-time werewolf, bitch.
such good stuff.
Don't get eaten out by a car. Such a good movie. Man, I mean, any standout moments for you in this one?
Oh man, I don't know what it was. Just the crazy lady with the wrench. Like whether she's dancing in the house or she's like making weird suggestive gestures, it cracked me up every time. And I like how like the new male lady was like, you've met me multiple times now. I don't know why you're just like pretending like you're just now, because there's nobody else in town. Like, how can you not remember meeting somebody? Just little moments like that. It's all the little stuff that just cracked me up. It wasn't so. Yeah, it's just a lesson in the little things.
Mine. Yeah, I just. I think just the fact that it got me laughing so much. I just loved all of that. What do you think of the actual werewolf look?
You don't really see a whole lot of it. I wasn't. Yeah. I mean, it felt like it was trying to pay homage more to the old time werewolf look, as opposed to new time werewolf looks, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. I mean, I don't know. It's just her as a. I mean, spoilers. Her as a werewolf. I mean, almost it doesn't even matter to me. It's like it's still her. So yeah, I was okay with it. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, not you mention the old school werewolf look. Yeah, that is exactly. And I'm pretty sure that's what they were going for. You're right.
It felt like a homage to that as opposed to new time. I'm more in my head new time. Yeah, but old time I can appreciate. So I understand where they were going with
the Wolf Man. Yeah. Yep. So do you think she would have, like, if he wouldn't have answered, do you think that cell phone call saved his life? You think she would have killed him? Or
yep.
Okay.
Yep, that was her luring him into isolated area so that she could do whatever she wanted to do, which was probably eat him.
A girl's got to eat.
Yep.
but at the same time, why leave after the phone call then?
Just because he ruined the hunt for her.
Oh, shit. Okay. Look at you. You are an armchair detective.
I am.
Elementary, my dear idiots. That's what you just said. What's old Rotten Tomatoes say about this one? And don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Because if they say something bad.
You are not about to get hurt because they are on board with us. Tomato meter. Oh, yes. Tomato meter is an 86%. Fresh. They love it. They want to get some more of it. And I do too. and then audience score is an 82%. Slightly lower, but pretty much right there. I mean, they're both in the 80s, so I'm happy. I agree. I understand why there would be a little niche group that doesn't enjoy this film because I feel like the film was made for a niche group. So, and going into it, Werewolves Within, it just sounds like a movie that only a niche group would like. So most of the people that go to see it or want to see it probably are in that niche group. So I totally get it. But the both 80s, for me, that's amazing. That's
better than Black Widow.
For this movie that I didn't think, anybody else would probably like but me, to see that just warms my little heart. Just a little frozen core of that just cracked, and there's some life beating in there. Huh?
Are you gonna start being whiny now?
Yes. Oh man.
Anyway, that is definitely go watch from me.
Please go watch.
Yeah.
I'm begging you.
Looks like it's on Prime right now. You can rent it for $6.99.
Go watch it, but don't tell anybody about it because I want it to be mine.
Yeah. That's episode 185. Yes. Werewolves Within. Where you can find us anywhere a podcast is played, specifically on gowatchmovie.com. But if you don't want to go there, I guess you can find us anywhere else a podcast is made. The news is there. The trailers I put Old on there a while back, so you might have to dig for that one. But Old is on there. The trailers are there. Everything's there. Yeah, but like I said, we're on Apple, Spotify, etc. That's episode 185. I'm Kelvin,
and I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie.
Are you saying people wouldn't want to go watch a movie?
No, I mean, I as much as I don't want to think that.
Oh man!
Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket, go watch a movie.